This is exciting. Shearzon. I hope I pronounced that right.
Shearzon is a delivery robot operated by a startup called Serve Robotics.
Super curious what's inside this thing.
Serve thinks automation can help meet the massive demand for delivery in the US without adding more cars on the road. And it claims its robots have reached level 4 autonomy, meaning that in the right conditions, they can fully pilot themselves. No humans involved. But that's not the full story.
All right, I'm sweating here. I'm at a small, nondescript warehouse in Hollywood, California, where a fleet of delivery robots are getting ready for their next shift.
A few of Serve's human employees are making sure the tires have enough air, the sensors are clean, and the batteries are charged. Serve is running a pilot program with about 50 robots out of this garage/R&D lab. Each bot is waist high and the size of a shopping cart. It can carry about 50 pounds worth of food or other goods, and yes, it looks kind of like WALL-E from Pixar.
We're the leader in autonomous sidewalk delivery in cities.
Serve spun out of app-based delivery service Postmates about 6 years ago on a pretty big promise. Use a medium-sized robot instead of a full-size car to make food deliveries. Or as Serve likes to put it, why deliver 2-pound burritos in 2-ton cars? The company's partnered with Uber Eats and makes dozens of deliveries in Los Angeles every day. It's a humble-looking operation, but Serve has big plans. It's going public through a reverse merger with a blank check company, hoping to raise up to $30 million in new funding for 2,000 more robots in multiple cities across North America. There's no question America is hungry for delivery, but robot delivery? There's a lot of excitement and a lot of fear around AI. Things like ChatGPT and self-driving cars are giving a lot of people future shock. Where are we heading with all this? We know where the delivery bots are headed. They're coming to your apartment, and they're bringing tacos.
It's currently heading towards us, coming down Melrose right now. I can see it. Let's go.
So does Serve have the expertise to conquer sidewalks across the country? We tagged along on a delivery here in Hollywood to see for ourselves. And Hollywood followed along too.
Hey, what's the name of here?
Shearzon.
Everybody go get your shears on today.
They got fans all over the place. I love this. It's going kind of fast. It's kind of going kind of jerky. It's going, it's stopping, it's going, it's stopping. And maybe it knows something that we don't.
So how did Shearzon do? Overall, I'd give it a B-. It was extremely cautious at intersections, which makes sense.
All right, it yielded for that car coming into the parking lot. That's probably smart.
Its speed was a little hard to predict, sometimes fast, but mostly very, very slow.
We're almost there. You can make it.
And it seemed to freeze awkwardly here and there.
We're in the street. Come on, buddy. You gotta get out of the street.
When we got to the destination, the customer who placed the order didn't want to be on camera. Luckily, it was lunchtime, and we were all pretty hungry, so we opened up Uber Eats,
A Melrose wrap with white pita.
ordered a bunch of food, and then waited at Serve's garage for our delivery.
No need to tip when you get matched with our eco-friendly autonomous cars and robots. Got it.
Yeah, we made the poor robot return all the way back to its home base so we could film the pickup. We're monsters.
Wow, that's a lot of food.
But there's a whole other part of this picture. As the fleet of bots tools around Hollywood, there's an equivalent fleet of humans making level 4 autonomy happen. After the break, we see what's going on behind the scenes.
While robot technology is helping delivery businesses work more efficiently, Meta for Work's mixed and virtual reality is helping businesses all over the world collaborate remotely. Companies today can use MR and VR to train employees in immersive environments and even prototype directly in 3D, which is safer and more cost-effective for your business, no matter the project. Meta doesn't influence our editorial videos, but they do help us make future-facing videos like this possible. All right, enough from me, back to the story.
As the residents of Hollywood watch Serve's robots cruise around their neighborhood, there's something they don't see. A team of very human collaborators, mechanics and software engineers and repair technicians, keeping the fleet operational. And while the bots are out on delivery, they have shadows, a crew of specialists who watch from afar and swoop in when there's trouble.
I actually am a people watcher outside of Serve, so this is really fun for me.
First, there are the remote supervisors like T. These employees sit for hours in front of live feeds from the robot's many cameras. They watch up to 6 robots at a time and can monitor up to 20 robots each day.
At some points when I have multiple robots, I'm actually going robot to robot to robot to robot, and I just keep a cycle going through. Part of our policies is like you should never really have your eyes off of a robot. I'm just staring at every single, like just bouncing back and forth in like a rotation.
Supervisors give the go-ahead to cross intersections, and they can take over the robot's movements if needed, with a literal PlayStation controller.
Are there moments where you're like, okay, this could be bad, but I want to see how it plays out, and so maybe you wait a second just to make a decision first?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
As much as we would love to trust autonomy, I am more confident in my decision making, so.
Erring on the side of caution, essentially. Gotcha.
Now, Serve wouldn't let us film the screens it uses to monitor the bots, but here are some clips they provided. There are 3 live camera views, a map with all the robots' locations, and a little tab status feed with a list of actions that remote supervisors can choose from. If someone starts harassing the robot, for example, supervisors can tell it to play dead.
When the pedestrians or the public is interacting like that with our robots, they just go completely dead until like whatever is happening to them stops.
Supervisors are also instructed to prioritize safety over everything else. At each station, there's a big red physical button that stops the robot dead in its tracks. And if they ever have to put a robot in harm's way to protect a human, so be it. There's probably an iRobot reference here somewhere, but I'll let you decide.
Safety is first. Safety to the public and safety to really anything interacting with our robots. We have a saying that, robots are replaceable, human life isn't.
T can use her PlayStation controller to get the robots out of minor scrapes, but when things go more wrong, the bots need boots on the ground. And that's where Jacopo, one of Serve's field agents, comes in. When T or another supervisor flags a stranded or disabled robot, Jacopo hops on his electric bike and races out to the scene.
So sometimes the merchant needs a little help to load the robot. Every now and then we have a flat tire.
The biggest danger to the bots, says Jacopo, is what we'll call curiosity run amok.
You need to get people used to the robot. So, there is a curiosity in different ways. There's curiosity like, oh, well, it's so cute, but some people maybe like to be fun. Every now and then we have a person flipping the robot, so we go ahead and rescue the robot.
Serve says it's rare for the bots to be harassed or attacked, and we certainly didn't see any untoward behavior in our day with them. But they do attract attention, and the more sensational incidents make the rounds.
Now at 5:30, Hollywood's food delivery robots are under attack.
There's even a viral TikTok account dedicated to capturing the bots' shenanigans, and oddly berating them like an angry parent.
There's only but so much space. You better slow down, right?
All of this leaves Serve facing twin challenges. How to solve the engineering and logistical challenges around autonomy, and how to prove to the public that it's all worth it.
The aha moment was that you can use the technology for self-driving cars and solve a really big problem already by changing the form factor. A lot of folks have been thinking about how to get rid of the steering wheel versus what we should be thinking about is how to get rid of the car.
Ali Kashani founded Serve while working at Postmates about 6 years ago. When Uber acquired the company in 2020, he spun the robotics division out as its own startup. And he's actually pretty sober-minded about autonomy.
What we have right now is more like iPhone 1, and there is, all the way to iPhone 15 to go. So the involvement today might be more than it's going to be in the future, but there's going to be humans in the loop in one way or another.
Meaning Serve's bots may never graduate from level 4 autonomy. They might get better at dealing with intersections or rowdy dogs, but they'll always need a human backstop.
Level 5 is when you never need people to help a robot. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, sci-fi. I don't think any company is seriously going after level 5.
More than that, says Ali, for the amount of money it'd take to engineer perfect level 5 robots, might as well just keep some human babysitters on the payroll instead.
Do you really need to make it 100% autonomous? Because at one point, the incremental returns of doing so just doesn't make that much economic sense.
For what it's worth, dialing in the perfect degree of autonomy doesn't answer the bigger, more basic questions about this whole thing. Why robots? Why flood our already packed cities with machines that the public may embrace or dismiss or attack? The world is addicted to cars, Ali says, and again trots out his favorite line.
The thinking behind this is, why move a 2-pound burrito in a 2-ton car?
The trouble is, lots of other tech startups have made similar sounding promises about reducing the number of cars on the road. Uber and Lyft, electric scooters. Yet so far, nothing has made a dent in America's love affair with the car. Studies have shown that Uber and Lyft have actually led to an increase in vehicle miles traveled. And there's some evidence that people are using electric scooters instead of riding public transportation or walking. It's difficult to imagine Serve's robots succeeding where others have failed. Ali disagrees.
We are literally taking a car trip and moving it out of the street, especially when it wasn't necessary, but it was just moving a few pounds or like, let's say 2 bags of shopping. I think there's good reason to argue that we are going to remove cars and actually help solve that problem.
All right, get on with it, Bar. There you go.
For one final take on this, we tracked down the guy making all those TikToks about the robots. We expected him to be as negative as he is in his videos, but he was actually super diplomatic.
Listen, I live for those moments when somebody messes with them and somebody flips them over. They get themselves in little trouble, ditches and stuff, but quite honestly, they're pretty sophisticated.
You don't see any hostility or anything like that?
No, I mean, I think they try to portray it, and even myself, I portray it that way on the internet, but quite honestly, people don't really have any hostility toward them.
He's used to the bots and says the neighborhood is too. It's the autonomous revolution made mundane. Though, if he looks closely enough, it's not the robots he sees.
To be honest with you, I feel like I recognize the way they their behaviors, only because there's a human often behind it. And I have a feeling they're matched up with individual robots that handle individual areas. So you just start seeing some of the characteristics. I have fun with them.
Okay.
I got a kick out of them. So.
Yeah. We've been through so much together. Cheers on, you and I. I feel like we have a bond. And I wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors.